Exaltation in the
Yes. So now let's get into exaltation and debilitation of planets. It is like, exaltation is a planet is at its maximum strength, and debilitation means, the planet has lost all its strength, right? When planet is placed in certain houses, it is supposed to be exalted. In some other houses, it is supposed to be debilitated. Exaltation is strength.
When you say house, you mean sign,
Right.
like
Yes.
Rashi.
Yes, I mean sign. Correct. It's not house. So let's see that, so that this point is clear. So it is in Rashi. When planets are placed in particular Rashi, they are considered strong, and certain cases, they are considered weak. Okay. That is debilitated. Debilitation is what? No problems. Debilitation is it has lost its strength.
Weak. It's
It is
basically
weak, right? For example, sun. If you see the one I have marked in green is exalted.
And blue is debilitated.
Blue is debilitated. Okay. So you see in Aries or Mesha, sun is exalted, Saturn is debilitated.
Yeah, just across. So
Just across in the seventh house, in Libra, Saturn is exalted, Sun is debilitated. Right? When you say exalted, the planet is so powerful it can give all its characteristics. When it is debilitated, the planet has lost its characteristics, and it can't give, has lost its strength, and it cannot give its characteristics. Right? That is the whole thing about debilitated. Right? So when Saturn is here, Saturn is unable to give its characteristic. Right? For example, if someone has got Saturn in Aries, right? Saturn's characteristics. What are Saturn's characteristics? One of Saturn's characteristics is followers, fans. Right? So Saturn also indicates longevity. Saturn also indicates hard work. If Saturn is exalted, that individual can do hard work easily.
right.
For someone with Saturn debilitated, they cannot work hard, especially manual labor. They just cannot do.
Saturn is also like administration and all those things you said, like like if you're in a senior level.
See, it is Sun, not Saturn. If you are in Sun is the leadership. Sun is leadership. See, Sun denotes father. Sun denotes leadership. Sun denotes vitality. Right? So if Sun is in Libra, Sun is debilitated, right? One of the first things we can say is father, that individual's father. Maybe father is weak. Okay. Father is not living with the kid, right? Father may not be there. Father might have got separated. Father might not have interest in the family or the kid. Right?
Like an absentee father.
Like an absentee father. Right? And vitality. Vitality can also take a beating. Which one will take a beating will depend on the entire horoscope. For example, ninth house also denotes father. What if the ninth?
Also, it is also what is the placement of that house in that horoscope?
Yes. Also determines. Yes, the position. Where which house it indicates.
It is placed.
That also plays a
So
role.
if this was a first house, or if it is a second house, and the sun is in Libra and the second house.
So you are combining what we saw earlier: 159, 147, 10, or is it 6, 8, 12? If this house sun is already weak, and if it is also the 12th house, gone, right? And say 9th house is also not strong. Father is, father can become problematic in life also,
Ah,
right?
yeah.
So many things are at play. Similarly,
Mm.
moon is weak here, debilitated. In Taurus, it is strong,
In Scorpio. Mm.
right? If you see here, Mercury and Venus, right?
Mm.
Here it is the other way around.
Right.
Okay. Here Mars is exalted, Jupiter is debilitated. Jupiter is
Yes.
exalted, Mars is
Cancer, Capricorn.
Cancer,
Yeah.
Capricorn,
Mm.
right? Because we can see that they are related as well. We will see when we come to yoga, right?
Mm.
In some conditions, the debilitation is cancelled.
Yeah, the Nietzsche Banga.
That is known as Nicha Bhanga Yoga.
Mm.
Yoga means combination. Okay. Bhanga means
Yeah.
cancellation,
Addition or combination.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. Bhang means cancellation, Nich means debilitation, right?
Mm.
That is cancellation of debilitation, alignment. So if Mercury and Venus are placed together, right, we should not take Venus as weak.
Right, because Mercury is exalted,
Correct.
so Mercury can help
Mercury
Venus
can
in
help
this
Venus.
case.
Venus will take some of the strings of Mercury.
And help.
Yeah. And similarly, here, Mercury will take some of the strings of Venus. Right? But in this, please note, Venus and Mercury are friends, Jupiter and Mars are friends, whereas Sun and Saturn are enemies. Come to that, shortly. What are known as who are friends, right? Who are enemies, right?
Mitra, Adimitra.
Some, like you said, very close friends, Adimitra. Some bitter enemy. Sun and Saturn are bitter enemies.
Adishatru.
Because it is natural, right? Sun is a royal planet, is a ruling class.
Right.
Right? And Saturn
Yeah.
is
Sun
a
is sun, sun.
is the working
Saturn
class,
is
no?
sun, sun.
This is ruling class, this is working class. How can the two get along? Right? The ruling class and the working class don't get along well. So, for example, if Saturn is placed in Leo,
Right.
Saturn is enemy's house. Saturn will be extremely uncomfortable. We will see all of that, okay? For now, understand, about debilitation and exaltation.
Right.
Okay. The other thing that I want to highlight is the debilitation, exaltation happens at the specific degree. Right? Venus exaltation happens at 27 degrees. See,
Yeah.
this contains 0 to 30, no? Every house. Every house, 30 degrees. So it is like, if I'm putting a
0 to
gauge,
30 degrees.
right?
Yeah.
From 0 to 30, right? It's only at this point it becomes exalted. If, let's say, the Venus is at 10 degrees, what will you say? You say that it is moving towards exaltation. Moving towards exaltation.
Exaltation.
It is nearly exalted. It is like you have not got 100 marks.
Yeah.
You got only 90 marks or 95 marks.
Right.
Right? Similarly, Sun is at 10 degrees, Moon is at 2 degrees, Jupiter is 5 degrees, so on and so forth. And let's say Moon, if it has crossed 2 degrees, that means it has crossed its exaltation point. At 2 degrees, right, it is 100 marks.
Right.
At say 1 degree, it is 98 marks. Say if it is at 5 degree, it is say 96 marks. I'm giving an approximation. Right?
Right.
If Moon is at 5 degrees, it is still strong, but not as strong as it is at 2 degrees. Right? So just like how we have the degrees of exaltation, we also have the degrees of debilitation.
Hmm.
right?
It's the exact
It's
same
the
to the
exact same
opposite of.
opposite, right? Venus gets exalted at 27 degrees. Here, Venus gets debilitated at 27 degrees,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, this is a key point that must be borne in mind. So, as I
How
said,
about Rahu and Ketu?
yeah, that's a good question. Rahu and Ketu are shadow planets, right? They
Right,
do
they take
not
the
have
personality of whatever that it goes through.
Rahu and Ketu, are shadow planets,
Mhm.
right? They do not have a
Mhm.
point of exaltation or debilitation. When you say shadow planets, they actually become like other planets wherever they are posited.
Yeah.
It is like I come into your house,
Mhm.
I become a member of your family,
Yeah.
right? That's how
Mhm.
Rahu and Ketu. We will have a separate session on Rahu and Ketu,
Hmm.
right? So for now, this is the exaltation and debilitation that you need to be aware of,
Hmm.
right? Now, along with green and blue, I have yellow also, right?
Hmm.
Yellow is
That's
known as the
mooltrikona.
mooltrikona sign.
Mhm.
Mooltrikona means, the planet has gone back to its root. Mool means
Hmm.
root,
Hmm.
right? If in
Mhm.
certain houses they have gone back to the root, that means the planet is very comfortable,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Planet is extremely comfortable. For example, Saturn is debilitated in Aries, exalted in Libra,
Mhm.
and in Aquarius, it
It's the
is in
mooltrikona.
mooltrikona sign. Saturn is very comfortable,
Mhm.
right? A planet gives good results when it is in its mooltrikona sign,
Hmm.
right? So we have seen exaltation, debilitation, and mooltrikona sign. For example,
Hmm.
Jupiter mooltrikona sign is Sagittarius,
Hmm.
Dhanus,
Right.
right? And if
Mhm.
you see Moon and Mercury, the mooltrikona and exaltation is Virgo,
It's the same.
same sign,
Oh, same sign.
right?
Hmm.
That is there only for Moon and Mercury. And Rahu and
But the
Ketu,
degrees are different.
the degrees are different. Mooltrikona, the house itself, they are comfortable,
Hmm.
right? Rahu and Ketu, do not have either debilitation, exaltation, or mooltrikona,
From mooltrikona.
right?
Hmm.
So we have seen what are the other things that we need to see: enemy houses, friendly
Mhm.
houses,
Mhm.
own houses.
Hmm.
For example, let me write it in red for own house. This
Hmm.
is the own house of Mars, right?
Right.
This is the own house of,
Venus. And that's Mercury.
right? This is the own house of Mercury,
And Mithuna.
right? Yes. This is the own house of Moon. This is the own house of Sun, right? This is the own house of Mars. This is the own house of
Mars.
Jupiter.
Yeah.
This is the own house of Jupiter.
Hmm.
This is the own house of
Yeah.
Saturn,
And then Saturn. Saturn.
right?
Hmm.
Right? So this is, if
Mhm.
you have to see, a planet gives good results if it is in exaltation, own
Its
house,
own
or in,
houses.
see, I will not
Exaltation.
say good
Mooltrikona.
results. It gives whatever results that it is supposed to give.
At least it's comfortable because it's their own
Comfortable.
house.
See,
Right?
but whether it is good or bad depends on the Adhipatyam, right? The
Hmm.
the
The
ruler,
rulership
the
of the.
not just the rulership, but also the house positioning, right?
Hmm. Whether it is the Kendra
Exactly.
or the
Whether it is the
Lord
first
or
house, fourth house, seventh house.
where it is
For
Dusthana or
example,
whatever.
if I have a planet right? Let's take the example of which planet we can take. We will take Mercury, right? Let's take Mercury. If I take Mercury as the ascendant, so this becomes my first house, this becomes my eighth house. Here, if I have Mars, let's say for example, eighth house an exalted planet,
It's a
that is
exalted
not
Mars.
good, no? Because Mars is an enemy planet. You will see that so that you can understand, right? Whether it is like
It's the enemy planet.
enemy planet for Mercury. See, it is like, who should be strong in your life? People who like you, people who support you should be strong in your life. People who dig a grave to you, right? People who pull you down, people who are your enemies, they should be weak in your life, no? And if they are strong, they will give trouble to you. It's as simple as that, right? If your enemies are
It's just that the hardship that you would face would be more
the good
than
things,
the good things
right?
that you would have.
So you need to see both in combination.
So it's not just it's exalted. It's
No, it is
always
not.
good, but it depends on
Exactly.
where it is placed and
Exactly.
how it is done.
Saturn, if it is exalted, will give longevity, no doubts. But it will also give suffering. It will make that individual work hard, toil hard in life. People, who lift weights, right? Not as a sport, okay?
Right.
But for their livelihood. I know nowadays machines are there, but still sometimes you have to lift something and drop, right? It is okay to do it once in a while.
Some kind of a
Hard labor,
basically. Hard
physically demanding work, Saturn. And people who do work that others would not like to do normally, that is also Saturn, right? So it is very important to know which planet is exalted, right? Because
and
where it is exalted, right? That which is the house, concern. Those things are important. So all that we are saying by exaltation is it is in a position to give all that it has to give. That's all. When it is debilitated, it is not in a position to give all that it is supposed to give. That's all we are saying. See, a planet, if it is in a friendly house, it is comfortable, no? Mooltrikona and friendly, the planet is far more comfortable.
Correct.
Right? Planet is far more comfortable. If a planet is an enemy house, it's not comfortable. It is just like if you are visiting your friend, how comfortable you will feel. You will feel very comfortable, no? If you visit your friend, or if let's say you have to go to your enemy's house, even spending 10 minutes, 15 minutes will feel like a long time. You don't feel comfortable. The same thing applies to planets also. That is why I gave the example of Saturn in Leo. Saturn hates Sun.
Yeah. But there is also like you have that thing, right? Like the calculation, like if Sun is placed, it's the Mitra, the temporary friend.
Yes, we will see that.
And that will make it neutral.
No, it doesn't make
whatever.
it neutral, right? Now, nothing makes neutral, because see, for example, Saturn in Leo, right? Saturn is not comfortable. No doubts about it. Similarly, Sun in Aquarius. Sun is not comfortable, right?
That is true.
Actually,
that is true. But if Sun is placed closely, then doesn't that?
Not really. Not really. It is like it is like you are saying, I'm in my friend's house, right? I'm in my enemy's house, but enemy is sitting away from me. An enemy is an enemy, right? As long as you are come within the sight of the enemy, it makes me uncomfortable, right? You're
Yeah.
getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.